with TylerPaper.com, sitting here with Councilman Jason Wright. You have an announcement you want to make.
Sure. Yeah, I just wanted to let the East Texans know that I have been appointed to Senator Ted Cruz's staff as the East Texas Regional Director, which, while it's an honor and a privilege, and it's, I think, going to be a very positive thing for East Texas, it does come at the sacrifice of the City Council. I will also have to resign my seat as the council member for District 6.
And is that all taking place right away?
Yes, it is. Wednesday will be my last meeting on council, and I'll be starting in the new role for Senator Cruz immediately.
Let's talk about two things. What does this mean for the city?
I think that it means that obviously there's going to be a new representative for my seat, but you know, Tyler is in such good order, fortunately, that I think there's a lot of talent out there that to fill the seat, and I think that Tyler's going to move on just fine with or without Jason Wright.
Let's look back just a little bit. Been there about 2.5 years. What are some things that you're really happy about that you accomplished?
I think the most important thing is the fact that we've maintained the lowest tax rate of any city our size in the state of Texas. The fact that we did not borrow for general obligations. The fact that we've continued to move forward as far as an economy, and Tyler just being an excellent place to live. I think that if you look at us compared to other communities around the nation, for that matter, we have always maintained a very good and healthy position economically. So I'm most proud of the fact that we did not defer from what Kevin Eltife started whenever he was mayor on the blueprint, making sure that citizens still get the absolute best value for their tax dollar in their city.
Okay, let's look ahead. You got a new job coming up. What attracted you to this East Texas Regional Director's job? Well,
actually, it was first and foremost the Cruz folks. They called me asking, one, should East Texas have a regional office? To which I said, absolutely. You know, I've got a heart for East Texas, and I want to make sure that we're well represented in East Texas with the senator. And then the next question was, well, do you have anyone in mind? And I said, well, I kind of outlined the profile of the person we needed to look for, and John McClellan from the staff said, well, he said, this is a bit of a fishing expedition. Would you consider it? To which I was taken aback and but honored. And you know, the main thing that made me want to jump in and join Ted in his work is what folks are going to see with Senator Cruz is a constitutional scholar that has an absolute love, passion, and heart for liberty, freedom, and the United States of America, and how the Constitution plays a role in our nation. And so to be able to join him and support him in his work, you know, it's kind of tough when an elected official goes from being the guy in the seat to step down and be in the shadows supporting someone else. But I believe the work is important enough that Senator Cruz is going to be doing to where I'm honored to be able to join him in that.
Let's talk about the challenges of the legislature. What do you see coming up that they're going to have to tackle?
Well, obviously our fiscal house, getting it in order. You have one side that says the way to economic prosperity is to continue spending more and more money. While the more conservative side says we have got to rein in the spending. You know, in Washington, D.C., we do not have a revenue problem. We have a spending problem. So I think that's going to be one of the greatest challenges that Senator Cruz and the rest of the legislature is going to face.
You know, we come at a time where people in the legislature are not always the most popular politicians in the world. And you sort of have to bridge that gap a little bit. Sure.
And that's one of the things that I think you're going to see with Senator Cruz. I mean, you're talking about a guy that's a Princeton undergrad, a Harvard Law School graduate, a very pragmatic, principled leader that I think will be able to articulate the message of conservatism in a way that will sway people back to more of our founding principles, a smaller, more limited government. And you're exactly right. We have got to have leaders like that.
So, will you be officing here in Tyler?
Yes, I will. Yes, I will.
And so, are you a conduit to the senator? Do people have to go through you to get his ear?
Absolutely not. What I would consider myself is more of just a sense of immediacy to the senator, as someone who makes it more efficient for the citizens. It's very important to Senator Cruz that all of the constituents that he represents they have direct access. And so that's one of the things that attracted me most to, one, having anyone here, is to make sure that East Texans knew they were always going to have a bridge or a channel to the senator, because he needs to understand the unique policy decisions that affect East Texans, and that's something that he's very much interested in doing. And so to get to be that person that makes sure their voice is heard is quite an honor.
What happens now? Do you go through a crash course? Is there on-the-job training? Is there any training?
You know, fortunately, having been a city councilman, I think that's one of the things that really, one of the reasons why they didn't look too far once I agreed to consider the position. It's very similar. And so, yes, there will be an orientation. We actually had our first conference call this morning to discuss, you know, kind of just the infrastructure of communication with Chip Roy, the Chief of Staff. And so as that goes forward, you know, it will be a lot of on-the-job training, but really, as long as the easiest part of this job is the fact that, more than anything, I look at my role as to listen. You know, much like being a city councilman, you listen to what people's concerns are, what affects their lives, and whatever we can do as leaders and what Senator Cruz can do to help with that. That's really the job.
You know, you sound excited.
No, I'm very excited. I'm very excited. I mean, I'm humbled and I'm honored, and so with that comes a great deal of excitement to be able to be with a guy like Ted.
Okay, somebody's going to have to fill your role. What advice are you going to give them?
Always be accessible to the folks, and don't mess it up. You know, I was talking to some folks here at the paper earlier, and I said, anyone that runs for city council in Tyler, Texas, with some big idea, some ideological approach to how they're going to change Tyler, that is not what we need. I mean, you need someone that respects and appreciates what makes Tyler unique from a fiscal standpoint, from a quality of life standpoint. Very pragmatic. And someone that comes in and says, we don't want to mess that up. And that should be the primary objective, I think, of any council member, to come in and say, how can we maintain this trajectory that we're on, because it's a good one.
Thanks for coming in, and good luck.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the time.